Anthony Poole a phone call. And here we go.
Yes.
We're calling Anthony.
Hello?
Hello, is this Anthony?
Yeah, this is Anthony.
Anthony, how are you? This is Paul, Outsider Tackle Box radio show and podcast. I got my good buddy Tommy in the studio. Say hi, Tommy.
Hey, what's going on, Anthony? How you doing, man?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm awake. I'm here. I got some donuts in my system. I'm okay.
Tommy brought donuts. Thank you very much for the donuts. I appreciate
sometimes
that.
it's I got to do some. I got to do some stuff.
You contribute to this show somehow, and
Yes.
today it is through donuts.
Exactly.
Well, welcome to the show, Anthony. We're spreading happiness to the world through the joys of fishing, and fish stories do just that. There's quite a bit of people who love hearing fish stories from around the nation, and
I do.
you have one.
Yeah.
You sent in just a monster of a golden trout. It looks like it may not be, but that trout is it's a good picture,
It's the thing of dreams.
and we want to hear where you caught that fish, the bait that you were using, and maybe the size of it if you were able to get a weight on that in any way.
Yep.
And then anything you want to share with us, your IG, your Instagram name,
Yep.
YouTube, anything like that.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
can do.
you're
Feel
more
free.
than welcome.
Sure.
This is your podcast. Let's hear about your fish story.
And real quick, also, if you don't want to tell us the exact spot where you're fishing at, you can kind of make it up. I mean, we're not going to know the difference. So,
No, yeah.
You
I
could
won't
give
get
us
too specific.
Yeah, don't be too specific.
give us a latitude and a longitude.
Longitude?
Tommy doesn't even know what that means.
I know what
but
latitude
we'll
and
look for it on a map, and
Hold on.
we'll try to point it out.
Those are called coordinates. Coordinates are a way of finding yourself on a map or on a location of an exact spot. Thank you.
This is his. Let's let him.
Sorry,
tell
I
his
had to
story.
prove to Paul that I am actually smart in some aspects of the word. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so the place where we caught it is somewhere called the Weaver River here up in northern Utah. I'm actually fishing on it right now. I just got done releasing a fish when you called. I actually had the fish in my hand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're out here right now. We do a lot of vertical jigging for brown trout, and not a lot of people do too much jigging for browns where we live.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of unique, and not a lot of fish have seen it before out here, so it does pretty well. But anyhow, that one fish we caught, I'll just go ahead and get into the story. So I hooked up into it, and this is at nighttime. It's not too late. The sun goes down around 7 o'clock here, so it's probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I hook up into this monster fish, vertical jigging. I'm jigging. If you know what I'm jigging, it's called a gulp minnow.
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
Just
Gulp
on
minnows.
quarter ounce jig head. Which they don't really get fished that much for trout, too much where I live at least. But yeah, so I hook up into something on the minnow, probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and I knew I was into a monster, right? Absolutely huge fish. It was just peeling drag, running itself all over the place. I
So
knew
fun
this
when
was
do
just a
that,
high
when you do that.
caliber.
Yeah.
I knew it was just a high caliber trout. However, I started feeling abrasions in my line,
Oh no.
and the fish got himself wrapped around the rock. So I have my buddy with me. He's my landing guy. And he's in his waders. Now, mind you, it's Utah, so it's like 20 degrees outside. There's ice on the edges of the river, and the water's below freezing. It's just below freezing because it's moving, so it doesn't have time to freeze.
Yeah.
So my buddy goes in almost chin deep to get this fish from around this rock, okay, into this frigid water. And
That's some friend.
so yeah.
Yeah, my friend here won't do that.
Yeah, I don't think we have any friends that would actually jump in free, that cold water to go get a fish.
I can tell you right now, if you ever asked me, hey, can you jump in there and grab that fish? I'd be like, sorry.
And is your buddy on the line? I know you mentioned that he may or may not be with us on the call, because I want to find out what does that feel like?
Oh, yeah, he wasn't able to make it actually on the call. He had to be at work.
Okay, we'll get him on a different time so he can tell us.
For sure.
Why he jumped in that freezing water.
Yeah, so we got it undone off the first rock. Then we were fighting that for another 7-10 minutes after that. It was just a long fight. And then the same exact thing happens, right? It just gets caught up again. So my buddy, as brave as he is, goes out again, chin deep, and wraps it around a log, on a rock. And then after that, we finally get it in. But it was a good 25-minute fight or so, but it was a very long fight.
Man.
That's a great friend,
That's a cool
fishing story.
That's a great fishing story, actually. And that the real, yes, you are the person that caught that monster of a fish, but the true hero here is your buddy who jumped in not once but twice to help you out.
It takes a team sometimes to pull
that.
things
That's
together.
the type of friend that you like. You know what? How about when we're done here, I'll grab you a pizza. Let's go have a pizza and just hang out and have a good time, because that was awesome. I would not buy.
Oh yeah, he got a 6-pack.
There you go. See, even better.
That's my
even
kind
better.
of friend.
That's even
here,
better.
Why don't you warm up with this 6-pack of beer here?
See, like I said, my friend here, I wouldn't do it. If he looked at me and said, hey, jump in there, dude, I'm going to lose this fish, I'd be like, sorry about your bad luck, bro, because it ain't happening. That water's cold.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. So you're out there fishing right now, right?
Yep, just actually wrapping it up. We might head to a new spot here in a second. So
are you vertical jigging, quarter ounce, and then you had a gulp. You said it was gulp minnow. So that sounds like a good way to catch some pretty big trout. And in vertical jigging, is that one of the favorite ways to fish during the cold weather, or is that something you do quite often?
Just all year round, really. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Nice.
All right.
Nice. But that's and well, like you said, the fish out there aren't used to the jigging, so to them it's something new and they get to hit at it. And
I think most jigging, at least for me, when I get a jig, I'm not always vertical. We should try that more. I think, Tommy, because you could. It's almost like drop shotting a little bit.
Yeah.
You're just going up and down. But I always seem to want to throw something and reel it back in.
Yeah, like a spinner. Something like
but here it is, catching some big fish in Utah. Let's try.
I think we need to go to Utah one time and go.
Let's try this Anthony Poole fishing tip. We love fishing tips.
Love to, yeah.
And what you may have mentioned it, but what pound tests were you using to catch this fish?
6, just 6.
6 pounds.
Yeah, that's pretty much the standard out here for trout.
Yeah, that means their trout get big. Because over here we use 2-pound test?
2 to 4.
2 to 4?
2 to 4, but we might be able to pull in a 6-pounder every once in a while if you do it right.
That's what I did when I when I won my second tournament. That was almost a 6-pound fish, and I brought that in on a 2-pound test.
It's all about you right now.
That moment was one of those moments where I saw the door kind of creak open a little bit, and I was like, I'm going to talk about me.
So, Anthony, Tommy is a 2-time tournament winner.
That's right.
So he wanted to make sure to put that in your podcast. But this is about Anthony and his big fish that he sent in. We appreciate it. We are going to send you some free stuff for coming on the show. Just offline, let us know where to send that free stuff.
Yeah.
And feel free to go ahead and continue to send in any photo or video.
Yes, sir.
How do people find Anthony Poole? Do you have an Instagram that we can follow to see your photos?
Yeah, Northern Utah Fishing.
northern Utah fishing. Okay, we'll check that out.
And you know what? I'd like to invite Anthony and his friend. I would like to invite them to maybe report to us occasionally the fishing report out in Utah, because we don't have a Utah fishing report.
That's true. Yeah, send us a text.
Really?
Yeah, just randomly send us a text message, and maybe every once in a while, and be like, "Hey, look, I was fishing out here. The fishing's good. Blah blah blah." And the next radio show, when we do that weekly, we'll basically report your text.
Yeah, we won't put you on the spot all the time, but send us a text, keep in touch with us, and we'll just say, hey, fishing in Utah's pretty good. We got this info from Anthony Poole, fishing out of Utah, and you can follow. We'll tell people where to follow you, maybe get you some followers, and then we get a fish.
For sure.
At the start of the show, we try to go around the nation and give a fishing report, and often it's me and Tommy saying, hey, the fish are swimming.
Yeah, the fish are biting somewhere.
And you may or may not catch a fish. But we do have some people calling in and saying, "Hey, the fishing's good," and so we give a report. It would be great. Yeah, and your buddy is welcome to come on the show and tell us about jumping in the frigid cold water and giving his good friend a chance to catch that giant fish. And hey, look, got you on our show. So
my question for you, real quick, Anthony, is: did you tell him before or after? Say, hey, if you jump in that water right now and help me save this fish, I'll get you a 6-pack. Because that would be a deciding factor.
I told him during.
You told him during? Perfect. That would have been a deciding factor. If Paul would have been like, hey, dude, I'm getting you a 6-pack, I would have already been in the water.
That looks like a fish I would probably mount. Did you mount it? Did you keep it? Just take a picture and let
it. I was catch and release.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you, catch and release.
I used to not be so much about the catch and release, but lately I have been.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's good. It's a good method to practice. It keeps the fish population high.
Promoting the sport.
And it's promoting the sport. And nowadays, not so much, in the older days it was different. You had to bring your fish to the taxidermist and have them mount it and everything like that. But nowadays you can actually just take a picture of the fish, take a few shots of the fish and take that to a taxidermist, and they'll just replicate the fish.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they don't even use the actual skins no more.
I didn't even...
Yeah, you can just take pictures of the fish over to them and give them the measurements, and they'll
Look at you spreading some knowledge.
I know, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I amaze myself sometimes.
You know what? You should end the show with a mic drop today.
Boom.
Just boom.
That's it. Maybe I should just stop talking now before it
you ruin it.
But yeah,
Anthony, it's been great. I had fun. I love the fish story.
Absolutely.
I feel like we could just keep on talking to him, but we won't. He has things to do. He's on the water, and
to catch.
He's got fish to let go.
Wow, yeah,
you're good. I'll send you that picture of the fish I caught while I was talking to you guys.
That's awesome.
Oh, please do. We're gonna upload this in just a second. And don't forget to send your address. We'll send you something free from all of us here at Outsider Tackle Box radio show and podcast. Tight lines.
Tight lines, bud. Fish more. Have a great Saturday, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. You have a good one.
All right. Take care, bud.
Bye.
Bye.